You're listening to the start of your NFL week. You're listening to the Opening Whistle Radio Show. Right here on MetsonRadio.com. Now, here are your hosts, Albert Albanese and Avi Shipman.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Opening Whistle Radio Show right here on MESNRadio.com. I'm your host, Albert Albanese.
I'm Avi Shipman.
And here we are again talking about another crazy week in the NFL. Of course, if you guys want to get involved with the show a little bit more, there's always the phone number. It's 609-910-0687. And of course, you can always go on Facebook.com/The Slam Sessions Podcast Network to hear all of these shows after they're on live. So, Avi, a bunch of huge news coming out of the NFL this week. A couple of teams clinched. A couple of teams are battling some major injuries. And some teams are still kind of hanging on, kind of like we kind of didn't realize that they even still had a little bit of a chance.
Yeah, this is the year of injured quarterbacks. Am I right?
Yeah, it's terrible.
But, this one, as much as I don't like the Philadelphia Eagles, we talk about it. We talked about this before. It's very unfortunate. MVP candidate Carson Wenz, he's a good guy. He's had a great year. Just this kills their season, no?
Yeah.
Super Bowl is goodbye. Nick Foles, he's been there before, but come on. We're seeing the Super Bowl. Can they make a run to the Super Bowl still?
I don't think so. I had a tough time believing in them in the beginning. I know that we talked about this last week where I actually said I didn't even think they were going to win this week. But they did. They beat the Rams 43-35 and it was an incredible game. Probably one of the top two games of the week, which is crazy because the Steelers-Ravens game was absolutely
crazy. And the Seattle-Jacksonville interesting
game was
at the
great
end
too.
Yeah.
The Falcons and the Saints were really good this week. So a bunch of really good games this week that we got.
Jets game was good. Oh, sorry, Albert. I'm sorry.
Come on.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. It doesn't even hurt my feelings anymore. I'm used to it.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm just kind of used to it, man. It's crazy. Look, here's the thing about Carson Wenz. Obviously, MVP candidate. Guy who looked like he was going to bring this team to a Super Bowl at one point. Doesn't look like, obviously, that's going to happen now. Tore his ACL, out for the season, missing the postseason. This is reminiscent of the Raiders last year with Derek Carr. On the verge of a playoff push, the Raiders were surging towards the end of the season, and then all of a sudden, Carr gets injured, and that's the end of their season.
Man, the Eagles are cursed, no?
It seems like
it always with them, This is supposed to be the year.
Yeah, it really was.
Obviously the NFC is stacked, and it's not an easy run to the Super Bowl, but if they had home field advantage, it's going to be hard to beat them in Philly.
Yeah, agreed.
It's a killer. I mean, obviously it's a killer. Their season is over. It's over.
Yeah, I mean, look, here's the thing. Their season probably is over. The one thing I can say, though, is that we've seen what Case Keenum has done in Minnesota. And there is something to be said about these major teams who are major contenders having a major backup quarterback. Nick Foles could be a starter on a lot of different teams right now. So I'm not going to sit here and say that the Eagles are 100% out of it, like they have no shot.
Listen, they're still playing for the number one seed.
They are.
And they have the talent to get there. It's not like they're done, but they have to be playing right now. They have to be playing to get that number one seed at home. Because if they want any chance to go to the Super Bowl, they're going to have to be at home. If they go on the road, I don't give them a chance.
Well, I mean, first of all, they can really rely heavily on their run game. Jay Ajayi, LeGarrette Blount are both super capable running backs that they don't have to even, they can cycle these guys out, keep them fresh throughout a game, and really, keeps a pair of fresh legs in there to really help out Nick Foles. They have the weapons. Alshon Jeffrey has been playing lights out for the past couple of weeks. If him and Nick Foles can get on the same page, I mean, if and Zach Ertz can come back,
they have a good defense.
Yeah,
they have a solid defense. But I'm surprised. It says something also that when did Wentz get hurt? At what point in the game did he get hurt?
It was in the fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter. And it's still impressive that they held on to win.
They did.
They held on to win the game.
Nick Foles didn't play bad.
Yeah.
He didn't play bad.
No, he didn't play bad, but listen, they got the win. That's all that matters. But like I said, they're playing for the number one seed right now. That's all they have to be thinking about.
Absolutely.
Right? They're playing, and it's a good start. They're playing at the Giants next week. So that's a good opener. Then they have two home games to end the year.
And that's the thing. I mean, it's not impossible for the Eagles to go on a streak. And like I said, We're not talking about, hey, the Jets lost Josh McCown and now they're starting Bryce Petty. We're talking about, yes, okay, they lost an MVP candidate. I understand it. Carson Wentz is, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now. But they also have a backup who's capable, who's been there before.
27 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Remember that year?
Yeah.
With Chip Kelly.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but not that he's that quarterback. Not that he's that quarterback anymore, but you know what? He's competent enough
Absolutely.
to get it done. I think so. He's not like you said, one of those
he's
terrible quarterbacks.
He's not a normal backup quarterback.
I think they're okay. I think Doug Peterson's okay with what he has. He's been there before. He's played before. He's bounced around. But you know what? It sucks. You lost your quarterback, but you're going to have to play, same strategy. You got to go for the number 1 seed and, just hope that everything works out for you.
Well, I mean, another huge thing that happened for this week that actually really positively affects the Eagles was the Vikings losing to the Panthers 31-24. Yeah. And, I mean, look, this is another game where you sit back and you think, well, this is the Vikings' way to prove that they're the dominant team in the league. But, they got outplayed.
Listen, they lost to a good team.
They did.
You can't be that surprised by the loss. It's not a killer to Minnesota.
Oh no, not at all.
Right. It's not a killer, but Carolina's they're hot right now. Cam Newton's starting to look like MVP Cam Newton.
Cam Newton a couple years ago.
Oh yeah. So it's a big win for Carolina.
Yeah, that fourth quarter run that Cam Newton ripped off, that was just eerily reminiscent of MVP Cam Newton.
Exactly. It's a huge win for Carolina because it keeps them alive. They're not out of this either for home field advantage.
No, not at all.
With Wentz going down, with Minnesota losing, Carolina's right there. They're there with all those teams in the South. They're bunched in. Carolina, who knows, for all we know, can get home field advantage. Can get not home field advantage. They can get the 2 seed. They can get a bye.
2 seed. Yeah, they can get a bye.
They're in it.
The Saints are still. There's still a lot of talk about them, even with their loss to the Falcons. But I mean, this really put the Falcons in a good spot. They're in the 6th seed now.
Yeah.
Matt Ryan, is starting to play like Matt Ryan used to play a little bit. I mean, this week maybe wasn't the best example. But
did you see those 2 interceptions?
Those 2 interceptions were bad.
That's inexcusable. Those are horrible.
It's tough. Another huge win. I mean, the Jaguars beating the Seahawks, man. This is something I talked about last week. I believe in the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, now you have to. Yeah. You have to. We said that this is a big game for them. They're winning at home. They're clicking. Their defense is legit.
Their defense is so good.
And they have the weapons. They have all the weapons they need on offense.
How about Leonard Fournette? Is playing like a monster this week, which is what they needed. This is his best game since he's come back from the ankle injury.
It's weird for me to say it, but this is a team that you don't want to play really right now. This is not a team. But
this is a Blake Bortles-led offense, and you don't want to play them.
This might be the most talented team in all of football, all around, besides for the quarterback.
Yeah, with the exception of Blake Bortles.
If he doesn't screw it up, they're fine.
What's crazy to me is that we talk about guys like Marquise Lee, Allen Hurns, where those are the guys who everybody, and of course Allen Robinson before he got hurt. These are the guys that they were they were supposed to do it with. They're doing it with D.D. Westbrook right now, and this kid is unbelievable.
Yeah,
did you see that catch? One of the catches he made, like I want to say, in the fourth quarter.
Dude, this is why he was a top 10 pick.
He's going to be a stud.
Look at them. They got him and Marquise Lee. They have 2 stud receivers.
Yep.
They have Leonard Fournette. They have everything. They're stacked.
Great. Yeah.
They're stacked right now. And Blake Bortles, and he's playing well. Blake Bortles.
He is. And it was, one of the announcers during the game last week, on Sunday, had said something along the lines of, Blake Bortles at one point was a name that you'd almost hear, and like people would start cursing at you for saying it. And now, he's kind of turned this around a little bit.
Right, but all that matters right now is how he does in the playoffs, because they're going to win the division.
Oh yeah,
they're going to win division. Who knows where they get? They're probably going to be the 3 seed or 4, but we'll see how he does in the playoffs. But their defense is so good they can carry them.
And you know what? Another huge we talk about implications of other games. The Titans losing to the Cardinals 12-7. That was huge. Oh wait, hold on. We got a phone call, Avi.
All right.
Hey caller, what's up? What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello. Hello? Do we have you? I know you're on.
Hello?
I think we lost them.
Give us a call back.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Unless do I have something going wrong? Hello? Anything? No. I don't know. That's weird. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. I don't know. Maybe I did something wrong. I don't think I'm doing anything wrong.
Give us a call back.
Yeah. So yeah, we have, Blake Bortles, like I said, he's, one of those guys who, this was one of those situations where we actually thought that, he was like one of those guys that, oh wait, they're calling back. Let's hope we get him this time. Hello caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from? Am I doing something wrong on this end? I have everything turned on. Hello? Hello, caller? I don't know. I don't know if this is me or...
I don't think so.
I don't know. It might be me. Sometimes I'm not competent when I do these things. So yeah. Blake Bortles is playing well. The Titans losing was huge for them. All right, we're gonna try this again. I don't know if they're hearing us and we're just not hearing them. I don't know. Hello, caller. Do we have you? I have everything on. Everything is on that's supposed to be on. So I just don't know if we're not hearing them, which isn't cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
the Titans losing is huge though, and it's.
What did I tell you, Albert, about Arizona? They're a scrappy team. They're gonna fight.
They are.
Listen, I think this says how bad the Titans are. So overrated from their record.
For who they are, they are, and
they're
look,
8-5.
We talk about this every week. Marcus Mariota was my pick to be the top guy on this team, and he's not being a good quarterback here.
Dude, 10 touchdowns and 14 interceptions. He's having a bad year.
He's having a terrible year.
Terrible year.
And this is one of those situations where I feel that in this scenario, you really want to have somebody who is a competent quarterback helming a playoff team, and we're not seeing that.
Right. And listen, this is a team that started off 8-4, and they're a team right now they're falling out of the playoffs. Nobody's talking about the Titans. People are talking about the teams on the outside, like Baltimore, even Buffalo. I don't give it much of a shot. But who else? You got Oakland. You got Kansas City, the Chargers. Tennessee, I don't see. Who'd be scared to play Tennessee right now in the playoffs, honestly?
I think everybody's looking at Tennessee as like their first-round bye.
Right. Exactly.
That's the shame of it is.
But listen, Arizona. Even Arizona is playing well without Carson Palmer. They're still somewhat mathematically alive in the playoff race. Not to say they're going to make it.
Well, so are the Dolphins, and the Dolphins are winning 6-0 over the Patriots right now.
But listen, that's right. That's what's going on with the Patriots here.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, Tom Brady is not playing well. And by the way, I'm throwing this out there just for everybody to this is kind of just something personal, just to brag a little bit. But Avi and I are in the same fantasy league. Avi clinched the number 1 seed overall in our fantasy league, and he's sitting pretty right now, taking a bye this week. And I am looking. If Kenyon Drake doesn't have a monster game, I'm looking to move on to the second round in my other league. So this is but I also have Brandon Cooks in another league, so I was really kind of hoping that Brandon Cooks does a little bit of something. So right. I can't even get Tom Brady to do anything I want him to do. I hate his guts still to this day, and I'll never like him. Yeah,
we were talking before the show. We said Miami wins this game. They're actually a game behind. They were game back in the wild card, which is unbelievable. And
this is what gets me mad. I mean, you brought up the Jets earlier, and I'm gonna go there really quick. The Jets getting shut out by the Broncos, a bad Broncos team, and we're to a point now where if the Jets would have beaten some of the teams they were supposed to beat, like the Broncos, they would have beaten the Bucks. They would have had a couple of bigger, some of the wins they were supposed to pull out against a team like Miami and against even that Patriots game where it looked like they had a good shot to pull it out, and they didn't, and they'd be in the conversation right now. I mean, not that it would have made so much of a difference if oh my God, why can't I think of his name? Josh McCown wouldn't, he broke his hand, he's out for the season. I don't think they would have made too much noise after that. I don't trust Bryce Petty at all. But even in with that being said, it's sad to see a team like the Dolphins are in the playoff hunt right now, and the Jets are just floundering one more time.
I know, but listen, I would take the Jets still over Miami. I would even take them over Tennessee right now. Head to head.
Not without Josh McCown.
Oh, right, not without Josh McCown. Listen, like I said, I was telling you, Bryce Petty's no good. He's no good.
No,
Jets they drafted a quarterback. They have to.
No, they're going to get a free agent quarterback. They're probably going to get a free agent quarterback.
Right.
I mean, they have to. At this
the question
point
is who.
I mean, look, the Jets right now, and that's the thing. They're 5-8. They're going to get a mid-range pick.
Right.
They're not going to get a top pick.
Right.
They're not going to get any of the top 3 quarterbacks that everybody's going to be that are going to be sought after in this draft. So we're going to get to a point now where if you're a Jets fan, you have to hope that the front office makes a smart enough move to build this team around a quarterback who could be capable. All right, we're getting another call. Let's see if this one actually works here, Avi. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from? This is something on our end. I don't know what's going on because I can't hear anybody. Hello?
Nope.
I don't know. Maybe the phone's not working. And we had a problem before we came in here. There was an issue, so I don't know if that issue is being permeated through what we're doing now. But apparently our phones just aren't working. This is a terrible way to do this show. Man, that's two people we missed, Avi. I feel bad. Guys, I'm so sorry. I feel bad for the technical problems that, apparently no one can call into.
We've never had an issue like this before.
We've never had this issue before.
Yeah.
I'm a little upset about it. I don't know. I'm wondering, before we got in here, like I said, there was something going on, and I don't know if that had anything to do with it.
Right.
But I'm sorry, guys. We love having you guys call in. We love having hearing you call in and give your opinions on things and ask us what we need what we want to hear. But it's just for some reason it just doesn't feel like the phone calls. The phone lines are working.
It was a friend of mine who's calling in. He's texting me now. He said, "How dare you say that? I say the Jets would take over the Dolphins." He's a Dolphins fan.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, the Jets. I would still take the Jets over the Dolphins, beating the Dolphins with a healthy team. Yeah. So, yeah, like I said, the Jets. They need a quarterback.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's first and foremost. You don't want to have a situation. You're not going to bring back Josh McCown to be the quarterback next year. A Ryan Fitzpatrick situation.
No, absolutely not.
This is kind of like the similar situation here, but they need to address the quarterback situation. And there's a lot of free agents coming out. It's going to be Kirk Cousins. It's going to be Alex Smith. Who's it going to be? It's not going to be Bryce Petty. It's not going to be Christian Hackenberg.
No, it's not going to be Bryce Petty. It's not going to be Hackenberg.
Listen, they address that, and then they, in the draft where they pick, wherever they pick, whatever the need they have.
I mean, this is one of those things where we're talking about a wide receiver, the wide receiver core. Robbie Anderson's doing well. Quincy Enunwa comes back next year. We have a lot of talent in that. If Jermaine Kearse does come back, there's a lot of talent on this team, and there's absolutely no reason as to why at this point that the Jets can't be looked at as being a good team next year. It's just, it's over now. McCown's out, they have to really be looking at. They got to be looking at somebody right now who is a competent quarterback that can really add something to this team, because as of right now, we're not seeing it.
And the Jets schedule the last 3 games it's not looking good.
No. When you play teams like the Saints and you play teams like the Patriots and you play teams like
they're playing New Orleans and then the Chargers.
And that was
and
the
then
team
the
I'm
Patriots.
missing. Yeah. So I knew I was missing the middle team. When you play those teams, you get to a point where you're starting to think that, hey, if you're the New York Jets, your season's kind of over.
Yeah,
and it's a shame.
On to listen, it was overall, they fought hard. We talked about this. It's on to next year.
Yeah. And, a team that still has a fighting chance, even though the Eagles clinched the division, is your Dallas Cowboys. Big win over the Giants this week.
Oh, yeah. I told you this. It felt like a trap game. Listen,
of
this
course,
was close.
always.
This was close till the end.
Look, it's a division game. It's against a division rival. They're probably their biggest rival in football. Oh, what a catch!
Oh, damn.
Oh, my God.
Who's that? Is that Lewis? Dion Lewis.
Yeah, that was Dion Lewis.
Yeah,
what
we just saw a
catch.
sick
Holy
one-handed catch.
Crap. Wow.
We stopped to watch what was going to happen.
Yeah. There's just one of those things where it was like, is he really going to come up with that? That was amazing. If you guys are watching the Monday night game, you'll know what we're talking about. Brady throws an out route to Dion Lewis, his running back, who makes a one-handed grab, spearheads it, and then pulls it into his chest, and even runs a couple more yards.
Game's over. Patriots are winning. That was it. That's going to decide the match. I guarantee you Brady's going to drive him down the field for a touchdown.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it.
It's 6-0 now. Remember Pittsburgh Cincinnati last week?
Yeah,
the same thing. They didn't score in the first half. This is gonna be an easy Patriots win.
I hope you're right. In a lot of ways, I hope you're right. Just I don't want to see the Dolphins win. I want to see Brandon Cooks have a good game. There's a lot of fantasy implications on my end here.
Yeah.
So yeah, but the Cowboys did get the win though. That's the big part of it.
Listen, we talked about this. Cowboys have to. First of all, I was texting you during the game, like, watch, this game is killing me. Until they broke out, then the Giants gave up. After they gave up, they broke in. How many plays did the Cowboys had? How many big touchdowns? Des Bryant and Rod Smith to close out the game. Rod Smith
had 2 touchdowns.
Big game finally. But listen,
here's the shame of it all. Avi works on Sundays. Avi can't even watch the games.
I follow the game,
so he follows the game as best as he can. And I forgot that about that. And we were talking. There was the Rod Smith, the first touchdown where. Dak threw the pass to him and he ran what was it, like 73 yards?
Yeah.
I was like, man, that was really great vision. And Avi was like, wait, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh my God, Avi can't watch the game.
I knew he scored a touchdown. I'm like, what happened? What happened? They scored. But the Giants, they just gave up at the end. Obviously, like, this is what they are. The defense gave up. But listen, the Cowboys, this is a game by game basis.
Absolutely.
We said
That's pass interference.
All right, Cooks didn't catch it, though.
That's pass interference. There's 3 flags on the field.
This is a game-by-game basis. The Cowboys have to win out to make the playoffs. They really do. They have to win out. They're in trouble. They need things to go their way also. They have one more game before Ezekiel Elliott comes back. They're going to Oakland this week. The way Oakland played through the first 3.5 quarters of yesterday it makes me feel good about it. But it's still not an easy game to go to the West Coast.
Look, it's a trap game again. They're playing a 6 and 7 talented 6 and 7.
I like what the Cowboys did towards the end of the game. I like what's going on with them right now. They have one more game before Zeke comes back. But listen, it's a game-by-game basis.
And look, and Rod Smith, Alfred Morris, they're playing well in Ezekiel Elliott's absence. We know that. I mean, we're not going to sit here and tell you guys anything that you don't know or already know. I mean, this is one of those situations where we see that the Cowboys are putting a fight up. After some extenuating circumstances, we had a couple of injuries that happened and with the team, but they got their tackle. What was their They got what's his name back this
Sean
week?
Lee.
Sean Lee, yeah. So
yeah.
I mean,
when he plays, it's a totally different story.
Exactly. So I mean, they have a lot of weapons that they were missing, and now you're seeing the real Dallas Cowboys.
We're in trouble because we're behind Atlanta, we're behind Green Bay, who beat us also. We need things to go our way, and it's also not. Aaron Rodgers is coming back this week. Is what I'm hearing. So
it looks like it.
We need things to go our way. There's,
I mean, in his interim, Hundley hasn't played terrible.
No, and they're still in it also.
Yeah.
And Aaron Rodgers is coming back, but that's a big game also. They're playing in Carolina this week. It's a huge game. So, listen, the Cowboys need help, but they need to win games also. You have to take it a game-by-game basis, as Bill Belichick would say, on to Cincinnati. In this case, Oakland.
Absolutely. And that's another thing. We talk about the playoff picture right now. The Falcons are in the 6th seed, which is what I predicted. Last week. The Panthers in the 5 seed, Saints 4, Rams 3, Vikings 2, Eagles 1. In the AFC, it's right now up until the Patriots just scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
I don't know who it went to, so that doesn't help them.
It probably ran it in. They're at the 1.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you're probably right.
Let's take a look. See. So Pittsburgh, New England, Jacksonville, Kansas City, Tennessee, Buffalo. Which is Tennessee and Buffalo. Ugh, that's a brutal wild card right there.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So listen, it's tight. The NFC is so interesting right now. The NFC is so tight right now. What's going on? What happened? Rex Burkhead. Yeah. Rushing.
There it is.
So, but I had something I wanted to say. If I told you before the season, right now, heading into Week 15, in the NFC, the top 3 seeds, the quarterbacks of those top 3 seeds in the NFC right now are Nick Foles, Case Keenum, and Jared Goff. What would you tell me?
I would have the reaction that I'm having right now.
Obviously, Carson Wenz got hurt, but he is the quarterback right now. Going in. But do you know, I wrote something down here. The rest, the 4, 5, 6, 7, the bottom are Drew Brees, Super Bowl MVP. Cam Newton, MVP of the regular season, won Super Bowl last year. Matt Ryan, MVP last year, went to the Super Bowl last year. Russell Wilson, Super Bowl MVP. And then you got Aaron Rodgers, Super Bowl MVP. Look at the quarterbacks in the West. I'm going to circle, I'll take the rest over those top 3.
And we're talking about the Seahawks who aren't even in the playoffs right now.
Right. Exactly, Russell Wilson. I'm saying, I take those 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Look at the quarterbacks I just mentioned.
I know.
I take those guys over those top 3 seeds right
now. Any day.
I said if Minnesota had home field advantage, I said I would pick them to go to the Super Bowl. If they don't, I don't think they are going to go. I'm going to go with any of those 4 or 5 teams right now.
So, all right. So then, let's play the game, Avi. Gun to head. Who comes out and wins the NFC?
I mean, I said a few weeks ago, I think New Orleans, but every week I have a different opinion.
I know. You keep changing it up.
I said, I was thinking today, Carolina's a real sleeper.
They are.
They're a real sleeper. I don't trust Atlanta. I don't trust Matt Ryan right now. This is not their year. I don't think they're going back to the Super Bowl. It's really hard to do it 2 years in a row.
It is.
And they're not going to even have a home field advantage throughout it.
Unless you're the Patriots.
The Saints, honestly, right now, it's tough. It's so tough. I'm not taking the Rams. I'm not taking the Eagles. Minnesota, like I said, only if they have home field advantage. But Carolina and New Orleans are 2 teams right now that are intriguing right now.
I'm a loyal guy. I'm going to stick with Minnesota. I've said Minnesota since we started this show, and I'm not gonna back down on it.
Right. Well, listen. Once the playoffs start, we'll have our final pick. We should have our final pick. But right now, it's every week. I think Carolina is a real sleeper right now.
I don't see it changing unless something really bad happens to somebody on Minnesota or somebody on Pittsburgh. My Super Bowl pick is the Steelers versus the Vikings. 100%. Like, bar none, hands down, that is my Super Bowl pick. And if we can, and that's it. I mean, if look, I know you've changed yours a couple of times. I'm not changing it. I'm sticking with it. Even if the Patriots come out and they blow the doors off of Pittsburgh. I really honestly think that it's going to be the Steelers versus the versus the Vikings.
But wouldn't you take like Drew Brees? Like I said, Drew Brees, Cam Newton, Matt Ryan, Russell Wilson. Even you can't bet against
yeah,
Seattle.
Absolutely, all those guys. I would take them all over Case Keenum. But Case Keenum is playing good enough.
I know.
To do what he needs to do. This week, notwithstanding, where he did throw a pretty terrible interception this week.
If they go on the road, but who out of those teams? Okay, New Orleans, Carolina, Atlanta, Seattle, or even Green Bay. Who has the best chance to go into Minnesota and win?
Green Bay.
Green Bay, you think so?
I think so. I just
can't
fresh
be Green
Aaron
Bay.
Rodgers.
I still don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I don't know how.
I don't think they're going to make the playoffs either. But I think if they sneak in there, that is the team to watch.
Right. I wish I could say Dallas. Until we find out at the end what happens.
Yeah.
If Dallas is in there, it's a whole different story. With Zeke, it's a whole different story. That would be unbelievable. I hope that happens. But like I said, look at all those quarterbacks I just mentioned. Even Matt Stafford, they're still in the Lions.
They are.
But obviously
still
not picking
technically
them.
in the hunt. And I mean, not that this matters because we're talking about someone who's actually worse than Case Keenum, but so are the Cardinals.
Right. But think about listen, Wentz goes down, Sam Bradford and Teddy Bridgewater, Aaron Rodgers went down, Deshaun Watson, Carson Palmer. So many big quarterbacks that went. It seems like this year was
Derek Carr was out for a couple of weeks.
Derek Carr, yep.
McCown just got hurt. Not that he's a big quarterback,
Right.
but even so, McCown got hurt.
Right.
Did you mention Jameis Winston got hurt for a little while too?
Right. Well, that team just
yeah, but I'm just saying, like we're talking about starting quarterbacks in the NFL.
Can we talk about how many coaches are getting fired this offseason?
I'm
be a bunch, I think.
I'm feeling that there's going to be about 6 or 7 teams that are going to be without a head coach.
Well, let's see. I think Tampa's coach. I think Dirk Cutter's gone.
I think Dirk Cutter is gone. I agree.
They're saying John Fox is probably gone.
I think
it's time to get a new to mold Trubisky.
I agree.
Quarterback coach. Who else? Well, obviously McAdoo.
Yeah, we know McAdoo got fired. I'm thinking. I mean, the Browns fired their general manager, so you can think that their head coach
and
they're keeping
Hugh Jackson. They said.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, they like him.
I don't like.
Apparently, Hugh Jackson wanted to draft Wentz and or Mahomes or whoever it was, but they, of course, they wanted to stockpile those draft picks. Look at the Browns. We didn't even get into that game.
Oh my God,
very Browns-like.
The Browns almost pulled it out again over Brett Hundley, and I mean, look, Hundley did what he was supposed to do. He kept the Packers in playoff contention.
I don't know that Denver's not firing their coach. I know it's been 1 year. Their quarterback's been a mess, but I wouldn't be surprised if they got rid of him. I
mean, yeah, depending upon what their strategy is, they might.
Chuck Pagano. Indy, I think it's time for him to go.
Yeah.
He's been decimated. No Andrew Luck, but maybe.
Is that Jarvis Landry touchdown? Oh, no, I thought he scored.
But can you believe it, though? Cleveland, I thought they were going to win. I thought it was over.
So did I.
They had a 2-touchdown lead.
Oh, and Marvin Lewis, too. We say it every week, Marvin Lewis is
going to go. He better get fired.
Marvin Lewis has to go this year.
He better get fired.
I mean, that was an embarrassment, too. I mean... It's so hard to say that the Bengals got embarrassed. They got embarrassed by the Bears, man.
Yeah. The Bears.
The Bears. I mean, look, I've spoken very highly of Mitch Trubisky. I like Mitch Trubisky. I think he's going to be really good.
I like him a lot.
But they spanked the Bengals.
It's going to take some time for him but he's going to be a good quarterback.
I think so too.
Listen, so far they made the right choice.
I think so.
But oh my God, Cleveland, they blow it again.
Oh, and we also didn't mention, I think, when you were talking about all the quarterbacks that got injured, Deshaun Watson too, man.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson.
And that's that's a guy who was looking like he could have been an MVP candidate, and we wouldn't even be seeing some of these teams. Like this whole playoff picture,
it would have been very interesting.
Be completely differ't.
Oh, exactly. But Jacksonville would have still been there. But Houston,
I don't think. Yeah, I think
Houston would have swapped with the Titans.
Yeah, I don't think the Titans would have been.
Without a doubt, they would have been fighting. It would be Jacksonville and Houston for that wild card.
Yeah.
But like I said, right now in the AFC, Buffalo. Do you see them go in the playoffs?
No.
But who's going to be? Listen, we talked about this. It's going to be Pittsburgh, New England, Jacksonville. That's all we know right now. Yeah. For sure. Those are the 3 teams right now. We don't know in the AFC West, even though I think the Chargers are going to win the division.
See, you think the Chargers are going to win the division.
They're winning this week. This is the game this week.
I think the Chiefs finally got their heads on straight these past 2 weeks with their offense. They're playing well. They're clicking. They're making. Alex Smith is making good decisions. He's throwing deep passes to Tyreek Hill. He's throwing deep passes to Travis Kelce. They got Hunt involved again in their offense
finally.
For the first time in a couple of weeks. And that makes you happy, although it might lead you to put it into the decision.
I don't know if I'm playing him in the semifinals.
That was going to be my question.
I probably am, but I'm probably going to play him.
Avi drafted.
But I've been sitting him.
Yeah, Avi's been sitting Kareem Hunt, but I mean he should have been.
Yeah.
But Avi drafted him like really low in the draft and really made out well for the first couple of weeks.
Right, and it's worked out for me actually. With I traded for McCaffrey. I traded Lamar Miller and Carson Wentz for Phillip Rivers and Christian McCaffrey. It's worked. And I mean, now the Wentz is down. Listen, but Rivers has played great. I think Rivers now Rivers hopefully is going to win me fantasy championship.
Well, that's the game of the week next week. Obviously outside of Pittsburgh, New England. And that's going to be a Saturday night game. Just let you guys know that's a Saturday night game. Chiefs versus the Cardinals. I'm sorry, the Cardinals. The Chargers. I mean, that's a huge game.
That's a huge game, but I can't wait for Denver and Indy on Thursday night. That's going to be a good game.
What I don't understand is that why we got midway through the season. Why did they not switch this Chiefs game with the Broncos game? I would much rather see a Thursday night game than a Saturday night game.
Yeah, but they're not going to do that. They can't switch to Thursday night. They can't do that.
Give them a
few days rest. But
I guess.
Listen, nobody cares about Thursday night football anymore.
Oh, wow.
Jay Cutler making a play? Whoa.
Look at Jay Cutler.
Oh my
how
gosh.
about the Dolphins?
He just doesn't go away, the guy.
He doesn't.
Somehow he has 5 wins. Somehow, I don't know what's going on with him. But
I don't get it.
Oh, man. It's a huge game. I said last week, you think Kansas City's going to win. I think the Chargers are going to win. It's for the division. You still think either way? You think the Chargers are getting in?
I think that the Chargers and the Chiefs are both getting into the playoffs.
Okay, right now, I don't think Kansas City is getting in.
I do.
Fine. Right. Actually, you know what? That's not true. Because I thought Tennessee was going to make it, but now I don't think they're going to make it. So Kansas City might get in, actually.
Or look at the other two teams. If Kansas City doesn't need it, either Baltimore gets in or Buffalo gets in over Kansas City.
I'll tell you why Baltimore. They're playing in Cleveland. They have home Indy, home Cincinnati. They're in.
Oh, it's a great schedule. It's a great schedule.
They're getting in. I think for sure getting in.
But look who we're talking about here. We're talking about the Joe Flacco-led Baltimore Ravens. I know that Flacco's won a Super Bowl. He's not a good quarterback. I don't care what anybody says. Even if he's playing good, he's not a good quarterback. They will figure out a way to blow one of those games.
Right. But it's so tough to say now. I guess you're right. Like I said, I have Pittsburgh, New England, Jacksonville, Chargers.
Wow, that is another Dolphins touchdown.
Jarvis Landry.
Was he down?
Jarvis Landry.
Oh, he might have been down. I think the ball crossed. I think the ball crossed. That completely kills me in my other fantasy league. I'm definitely done now. Landry scoring.
Miami. Maybe we're talking about Miami in the playoffs. No,
still no. But that's what I'm saying. Okay, so you're saying that you would take even if let's say the Ravens get into one of the wild card spots.
Yes, I think they're definitely
okay. Fine. So that means you're picking either the Titans or the Bills over the Chiefs. Which team do you say makes it?
That's why I'm saying right now. If I think about it now, you're right. I think I pick Kansas City to get that wild card.
The Chiefs are. I think the Chiefs are definitely making the playoffs.
So yeah. So I guess Kansas City, because also even if they lose, they're playing Miami at home and then at Denver. So yeah, fine. Like I said, I'm flip-flopping because Tennessee looks so bad. I can't pick Tennessee now. Tennessee might lose the next 3 games. I have their schedule right here.
Yeah, I was going to
They're in San Francisco. That's not a win. They're probably going to lose.
Jimmy Garoppolo was playing great.
They lost to Blaine Gabbert. What makes you think they're not going to lose to Jimmy Garoppolo, who's a better quarterback than
I agree.
In San Francisco.
I agree.
They're going to lose that game. And then they have the Rams at home.
Oh, the Rams are definitely especially after this last game, going to be out.
And then the last game is home against Jacksonville. Jacksonville might be playing for seeding.
Yeah,
for that 3 seed.
Yeah, so they're probably not going to. They're probably not going to be sitting anybody.
And they beat Jacksonville earlier in the year, fine. But Tennessee, I can't trust them now.
That's what I'm saying. Look,
they're 8-4 team not making the playoffs in the AFC. That would be embarrassing.
I agree. But
Mariota's been so bad. Their team,
they're going to want to beat Nate.
Yeah, they're going to wind up.
They're going to beat Nate.
Maybe not. Listen, maybe
9-7. Maybe 9-7. Maybe 9-7. But
I doubt it.
Yeah, that's it.
So fine. So right now, I guess Kansas City. But who knows what's going to happen? Listen, if Oakland beats Dallas this week, which I hope doesn't happen, they're in it.
What's the Ravens' remaining schedule?
Oh, the Ravens. I said at Cleveland, Indy, Cincinnati.
Oh, yeah, so
they're in.
Baltimore's in.
They're winning all those games.
And how about and Buffalo?
Buffalo, home Miami. They're playing Miami twice in the last 3 games.
Ooh, that's
they're home
big.
Miami at the Patriots. At Miami.
Oh, they're playing the Patriots. Okay, so then they're going to lose one at least.
They're going to lose. Listen, they're going to lose one to Miami too.
They probably will.
And they're going to lose. Right. They're going to finish 8-8 also. Probably not enough.
So then there we go.
It could come down to tiebreakers.
It might. And I think the Chiefs probably have more of the tiebreakers from the way they dominated the first half of the season.
So right now we're looking Pittsburgh, New England. Fine, we'll give them the bye. So right now we're looking probably Jacksonville's going to play Baltimore or Kansas City in the first round.
Well, they can't play Kansas. No, they can. I'm sorry, you're right. Yeah.
So most likely Jacksonville's going to get the 3 seed.
I think so. I don't see the Chiefs.
They're not jumping New England or Pittsburgh. They're not.
Yeah, of course not. And I don't see the Chiefs making that.
So realistically, they're going to play. They're going to play Baltimore or Kansas City in the first round.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Both of those. I think they beat Baltimore. The Kansas City game will be tough.
I don't know about that.
I don't believe him. I don't believe in the Ravens. I don't believe even with the easy schedule. I don't see the Ravens.
I don't know, man. The
Ravens might not even win out.
Right. But they're that team. I don't know. I can't count them out. But Jacksonville's been good. We can't say Jacksonville is definitely going to lose. They've been good. They're going to be at home. So you got to give them that.
No, I like the look. I think I've said this a couple of times on the show. I like the Jaguars. I like seeing the Rams involved in the playoffs, right, in the playoff picture right now. I like seeing these teams that aren't, that weren't around for a little while, making it to, you know what I mean? I really do. I like the fact, I like these stories that are coming out. That's the reason why you want to see teams like the Rams make the playoffs. Teams like, the Jaguars make the playoffs. Even teams like, even I know the Chiefs are, they're a stalwart right now and they're playing really well, but the Chiefs they don't have, Kelsey's their best player.
Yeah.
That's their tight end is their best player. You don't hear that too often.
Listen, it's not Kansas City's year. They might make the playoffs, but it's not their year.
I want it to be so
The
bad,
Alex
though.
Smith era is over. Time for Patty Mahomes to come in.
Oh, I agree 100%.
It's over.
But even still, you can't blame all this on Alex Smith.
No, not at all. I don't blame. Listen, you got to blame him somewhat, but listen, they're just playing hard. They're not playing great right now, and the Chargers are the hottest team right now in football. Phillip Rivers, Keenan Allen, and all those guys are just playing really well.
Well, we said this a couple of weeks ago. The one team that I don't want to play in the playoffs are the Chargers.
Right. I wouldn't want to play them either.
Wait a minute. We've been neglecting them this entire time.
The Chargers.
Yeah.
Oh, right. That's right. That's right. We have to. Well, right. I have.
So now we have to change up on everything because we've been neglecting them the entire time.
Right.
I think the Chargers get in over the Ravens. I said the Chiefs still make it.
Okay.
I said the Chargers making it over the Ravens.
So wait. So I had the Chargers. Right. How did we miss that?
I don't understand it. Like you just said Chargers. And I went,
New
that's
England-
right.
Pittsburgh, New England, Jacksonville. 1, 2, 3. Fine. Whatever the order is. Fine. 1, 2, 3. They're the top 3.
Yeah.
Chargers 4, and then the wild cards. Baltimore. Yeah, Baltimore and Kansas City.
Okay.
That's what I have. That's what I said. Right? I think I did say the Chargers.
I don't. You did. I don't think you had Kansas City in there though.
I had Tennessee out.
I think you had.
No, but I'll take Tennessee now.
Okay. So
yeah. So I'm gonna circle my 6.
Okay.
Pittsburgh, New England, Jacksonville, Kansas City, Baltimore, Chargers. That's my 6. I think you have the same, right?
I can't disagree with that. I know we disagreed with one team last week.
But
I think
you
maybe
think that
said,
Kansas City's winning the West?
I do. But
Okay.
either way, it doesn't make a difference. I think that they're both of those teams are making the playoffs.
Right.
And what's the Chargers' remaining schedule?
Oh, Chargers. They're at Kansas City, huge game, and then they have at the Jets,
Oof,
home Oakland.
There's an easy win, and then they play Oakland.
Well, yeah, the Jets will play them, but right. I don't.
Not with Bryce Petty.
If the Chargers win this week, they're going to win out. They're winning the rest. They're 10-6. They're going to win out. If they win, if they lose, I still think
even at 9-7, I still they make the playoffs.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
the Bills aren't going to. I
That's
don't
what
think the Bills will be 9-7.
But I said it last week. I think the Chargers are going to. This was the game for the division. They're going to win. I think they're going to win this week. I do. It's going to be. I think they're going to win. I trust Phillip Rivers in this game.
Look, you know what? I really do think that the Chiefs are going to win. I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be so much fun to watch. I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah. Oh, again, if you want to try one last ditch effort to call in.
Look, we've missed every call. When this was, you want to hear the worst part, guys? First of all, if you guys are out there listening, thank you, because this was the most phone calls we've ever gotten into the show, ever, and for some reason we can't answer any of them, and I'm really upset about it because this was the most we've ever gotten.
Should I try to call?
6 calls.
Should I try to call?
I don't think it's going to make a difference either way.
Right.
It's a shame, man. It really is. We got like 6 phone calls from 6 different, like 4 or 5 different numbers. I want to say, we called in. This is the most calls we've ever gotten on this show, and of course the Skype isn't working, so we can't answer any of them. This is just, it's a shame.
It's a shame. But I hope you're still listening.
Yeah, if you guys are still listening, thank you for everybody who called in, and we're sorry we couldn't get to your calls. Listen, please come back and talk to us next week.
I won't be here.
Avi won't be here, so I'm going to need all the help I can get. Avi is going to go to Miami, and he's going to be on vacation, and he's going to have a great time. He's leaving me here in the studio by myself.
I'm going to miss you, Albert.
I'm going to miss you too, Avi.
I'm going to miss you. But,
in all fairness,
you know what?
Avi offered for me to go to Florida with him, and I just couldn't do it. Albert, or else I would have went. So.
Albert, hopefully we get this situation fixed for the call. I'm going to call in. If you do, I'm calling in.
Good.
Oh, I'm going to call in.
All right.
100%.
All right,
dude. I know. Oh, absolutely.
So guys, you heard it here. You heard it here first. If you're still listening, call me next week. Avi's gonna call in, so we're gonna just we'll try to get like the first half of the show. I'm not keeping Avi on the phone at 9 o'clock at night while he's in Miami for an entire hour. That's not fair.
What's the Monday night game next week? Not sure. But I know the Cowboys are Sunday night. But, yeah, I'm going to call in. Absolutely.
Yeah, but please don't waste your entire vacation night on calling. Look,
Albert, I got it.
Call in for like 10 minutes, and we'll get your opinions on everything. And then, guys,
we got Falcons at Bucks. Great game.
Yeah, so you definitely are going out and experiencing some of that Miami nightlife.
Yeah.
So, guys, after that, though, please, God, call in because I can't do this all by myself. I don't think anybody wants to hear me drone on for an hour, by myself.
Maybe you could find somebody to replace me for that week.
I've been looking, and I can't really find anybody I trust. Because
Albert, you're supposed to say I'm irreplaceable.
I was actually just getting there.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, you kind of cut me off.
Okay, sorry.
So I said,
forget what I just said.
Yeah, so what I was saying was that I couldn't find anybody because there's no better of a co-host that I can ever have than Avi.
Oh, Albert.
See, I was actually going to compliment him, and he cut me off because he thought I wasn't going.
Sorry, Albert. I know you're a better person. Yeah, right. You're.
It's all right. There's going to be a Monday coming up pretty soon in January that I'm not going to be here, so you're going to have to man the ship. That
we'll figure it out.
Yeah. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to call in because I'm going to be in a very noisy area.
Okay. All right.
But All right, so close out the rest of the show. We got a good 15 minutes left to go. This actually goes by a lot slower when we don't have phone calls. Huh?
Right, I know.
It's crazy.
I know.
Can we talk
really
we talk really quick about the Bills-Colts game? Much?
Oh, yeah. It's awesome. That's no.
There was so.
I think it only happens in Buffalo.
It really does. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I'm a big. I don't know how many of you guys out there are. I'm a big proponent of the Red Zone channel. I think it's the greatest invention in the history of the world to just take you around every game that's playing. Anybody who's the closest to the red zone, they broadcast it to, just in case anybody doesn't know what that's all about. That's on some of your major cable networks. I would definitely say if you check it out if you don't know what it is. So what happens is that during red zone, what happened?
No, I'm just laughing because Brandon Cooks actually has no catches. He has 0 points.
Of course.
And like we said in our league, he literally, this guy, you're saying somebody, one of your buddies or someone in the league is hoping that he just needs literally 2 catches or something to
Yeah.
He needs him for not to get 2 catches, but he has 0. But he has a 0 right now.
And I needed him in my league too.
This would be
but Jarvis Landry scored, so I mean it hurt me.
Right.
But anyway, so I was talking with the Red Zone channel, and the reason I bring this up is because whenever there was a lull in the opening game action, they showed the Bills-Colts game, and let me tell you something. How it was the most fun I've had watching football in such a long time. It's a bunch of grown men playing in the snow.
Yeah, that's like a dream, man, to play in that.
Oh, no, it's definitely not. Nobody could stand up straight. Nobody can plant their feet. They were slipping and sliding all over the place.
Right,
but I do have to say, I love the touchdown celebration snow angels that were fantastic.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot of fun to watch.
That was pretty epic.
Another thing I wanted to talk about was, look, we talk a lot about the Seahawks being, one of the leaders, as just as a team in general. Did you see the end of that game and how ridiculously disrespectful that whole series was? And look, not for nothing, the Jacksonville fans throwing stuff at.
I was thinking about that, but yeah,
that was crazy.
Listen, obviously, you can't throw things. Like, you would never do that.
No.
You would never. Listen, these guys are clearly drunk, whatever they are. I don't blame. Listen, obviously, if he went into the stands, there's going to be a problem.
Oh, yeah.
You cannot condone him going into the stands.
No.
That would be a whole mess.
But you can't condone somebody throwing stuff at a professional athlete.
Listen, I understand. Listen, you saw that last one almost hit him in the face.
Yeah, it did. It came right to his face.
If it hit him, fine. But listen, you have to. I know it's tough, but you have to have some self-control.
Seriously, look, guys, I'm going to admit this on the air right now. I went to the Jets game 2 weeks ago. I was pretty inebriated. We tailgated from 9 a.m. till 1 o'clock. We were playing games that, of course, we were eating some food, playing some games, drinking a lot of beers. There was 10 of us that went all together. I want to say that between the 10 of us, some of whom don't even drink at all, there was about 50 beers that were just gone.
All right.
And, it was, and of course we drank more in the stadium. Even still, as intoxicated as I may have been, which I wasn't really bad, but I was intoxicated, there is nothing that crosses my mind to throw something at a professional athlete. These guys are out there for your entertainment. They're busting their asses and they're breaking their backs to play this game that entertains us, that gives us the opportunity to do this show every Monday night. And to be blatantly disrespectful like that is unbelievable.
And he's just walking off the field. He's not starting anything. He's
getting ejected.
Listen, what they did was not right. Him and Michael Bennett. I'm not a fan of Michael Bennett.
I agree.
But listen, the game's over. All right, I understand the game's not over till it's over. But in that situation, you don't go at the guy's knees. What do you think's going to happen? You could have hurt the center, fine. But I don't condone throwing anything. But listen, it's Bush League. It's not.
Look, I'm not defending anybody on the Seahawks right now because I think it was absolutely irresponsible and unbelievable what they did. Did New England just score?
They got a field goal.
Oh,
13-10 at the half.
Okay, so 13-10 at the half. I mean, that means do the Patriots just get the ball back? I don't know. I didn't see who got the first possession.
I'm not sure, but it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't really because they'll probably drive down in the second half no matter what and get it and score because they always do.
Yeah.
But look, that was just dirty play from a frustrated Seattle Seahawks team. That if you want to be frustrated, you should be frustrated with your offensive line because you would be a much better team in a much better position in a playoff spot right now if offensive line play was better and Russell Wilson didn't have to do everything on that team. If they would have had a run game, that Russell Wilson didn't have to do everything on that team. You can't put everything on one player. Look, the first catch that Doug Baldwin had was one of the most beautiful catches I've ever seen. That was a Russell Wilson, Doug Baldwin, thrown in triple coverage, and Baldwin was the guy who pulled it out. Those are the Seahawks that I respect. I love Russell Wilson. I think he's one of the most classy players in the sport. I think he's one of the best players in the sport, especially at his position. He's an MVP candidate.
Yeah,
and
I would pick it right now. I would pick him as MVP. He's carried that team with they had nothing.
They had nobody.
Nobody. They lost their whole secondary. They have no offensive line. He's doing it all by himself.
He is. And and to me, but to do something as classless as that, going after the guy's knees, that's not acceptable. And there's no reason for you to have to try to go and do that kind of stuff.
Listen, you lost. Take it like a man. Listen, maybe if you played a little better in the first half, you got your the doors kicked off you.
Yeah. They definitely got it handed to them very early on in that game.
They made a good comeback, but that's all because of Russell Wilson.
Absolutely.
It's not right to do what they did.
No,
two of them. Two of them to do that.
Yeah, and I don't think Bennett got ejected though. Right?
I think he did.
Oh, did he?
I think he did.
Yeah, if he didn't, he deserved to.
But listen,
and both of them are going to get fined. But now here's the other thing on the other end of this. Those guys who are throwing stuff, they probably got caught by security. They are never going to be let into an NFL stadium ever again.
Yeah.
Was it worth it?
Of course not. These guys are clearly. You don't just do it. Clearly, they drank a little too much. I wouldn't think a person would just do that. These guys clearly.
I mean, look.
You could be upset that they're trying to hurt one of your players. Your team, your team that you root for. You could be upset about that. You can listen. You can say whatever you want. You can curse them, whatever. Just don't throw anything.
Right. I agree.
But listen, was he actually going to go in the stands? You think?
He was ready to.
If he did that, he was done.
If he didn't get pulled down, he was going to.
I mean, it's hard to get over. That's a big man.
It's a big dude.
But remember, I don't know if you remember around our test back in the day. We don't want that situation again.
Yeah.
Because he would have been thrown out of the league if that happened.
Especially from a guy whose last name is now World Peace.
Listen, it almost hit you, but you cannot go in the stands no matter what. You cannot fight with a fan. We know how that's going to end. That would have been horrible.
And that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. I mean,
Absolutely.
There's so many negative connotations to that. Here's my thing, though. Look, Avi and I, obviously, we're doing the show because we love it, but we're also doing the show because we want to have a career doing this kind of stuff. Now, if you would have told me that the stupid decision that I made would get me banned from an NFL stadium, meaning that, let's just say I got a job within this field, and then they were like, oh, by the way, you're that guy? You can't get in here.
Yeah.
I don't care if you have press credentials or not. You threw that beer at that player one day.
Albert, have you ever thought about throwing something at a player?
Never once.
Okay.
Never once.
No, okay.
But I mean, have you?
Of course. No, of course not.
And that's what I'm saying.
Stupid to do that.
Why would you be that stupid but to do something like that?
Because there are a lot of stupid people out there.
I agree.
A lot of stupid people. And listen, they're drunk. They don't care. But you really do see that beer almost hit him. He dodged it.
Yeah. That almost hit him right in the face. Yeah.
And listen, you can't say that me or you, if we were in that situation, we wouldn't have that reaction too. To attempt to go in.
Charge at somebody who threw something in my face? Absolutely.
Of course you would attempt,
I'd
but
be livid.
You would think if you were about to be smart, do not go after this guy.
I hope that it looked like he got, when he got to the wall and he put his hands up. He
couldn't get over it. It was too high.
I think that right at that moment he realized, oh shit, I made a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope so at the very least. And excuse my language, sorry.
Yeah.
Guys, if you go to NFL games, please do me a favor. You guys we're all friends here. If you're fans of this show, we're friends. Whether or not we've met or not, we consider you guys friends. You come by and you listen
family,
to us. Yeah, family too. And you guys listen to us choose to listen to us every week, and we appreciate it. Just make better decisions. If you guys are going to go out, have a couple of beers, have a good time, do it, man. It's the most fun you'll ever have. I love going to live football games. It is at the top of my list of some of the most fun things I've ever done in my life. But please, guys, be responsible.
Even be respectful to people around you.
Absolutely.
Even I've been to many Cowboys Giants games, and there's always that one guy that heckles you. I'm never gonna, fine. But don't cross the line. People are there to root for their team. They're not trying to make a scene. A lot of people are. But, look, I'm not mentioning that Giant fans are bad fans, even though that some
I am.
are.
I am. Yeah, Giants fans are the worst fans in the world. I'm sorry for all of our Giants fans. Not you guys personally, but you got to admit. Look, I'm a Yankee fan, and Yankee fans are jerks.
Yeah.
I'd be the first person to admit it. They're absolute jerks.
And Patriots fans.
Don't get me started.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, guys, just do us a favor and be responsible if you guys go out. We don't want it to ever come back to know that it was one of our fans who did something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So look, we got a couple minutes left. What do you want to wrap up with, Avi?
What do I want to wrap up with?
Anything we didn't talk about that you want to kind of mention?
What do I want to talk about? I mean,
do you want to close out talking about that last couple minutes talking about that Steelers-Ravens game?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was 31-20 Ravens. You think the game's over? But that Steelers offense, they are so talented. You cannot count them out of any game. A
lot of people have been talking about the Chargers having one of the best wide receiver corps in the NFL, and they do. But how do you sit there and look at guys like Martavis Bryant, Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, even out of the backfield, was catching passes. Even before he got hurt, Juju Smith-Schuster was
Ben Roethlisberger threw the ball 66 times.
It's unbelievable.
I think that it has to be the most attempts ever. I haven't seen.
It's got to be. It's got to be up there.
I've never seen 55. I don't think from him. He's done it many times in the past few years.
Yeah,
but he's got the weapons. But listen, the only reason I'm a little skeptical of Pittsburgh, I don't trust their defense.
Oh no, not when the Ravens are scoring scoring over 30 points on them. Right. I mean, you
obviously they're missing
8 points.
Obviously, they're missing Ryan Shazier, who had that horrible injury, and we're hoping he's doing,
Yeah, we hope he's doing great. I don't know if you saw, I posted this on Facebook earlier. There was a video of him actually FaceTiming the guys in the locker room.
But I heard about it.
One of those things that I was at work, I was on my break, I was just surfing through the internet, and I saw that, and really, that's one of those things that brings a smile to not just to your face, but to your heart. Our best wishes out to him. I hope he makes a full recovery. I don't think he'll ever play football again. It'll be a long shot if he can, but I hope. Look, spinal injuries are no joke. I'm a big wrestling fan. If you guys, I probably mentioned it before. Spinal injuries have ended the careers of some of my favorite guys in wrestling, and definitely ended a lot of football careers. And I just hope he's doing okay.
Well, let's hope that. Listen, miracles do happen.
Yeah,
so let's hope that he can come back.
That'd be great.
You never know.
But that scene.
But they're going to be playing, for their butts off for him the rest of the year.
And that scene, seeing him FaceTiming that team and seeing that interaction, man, that just it makes you, it warms your heart.
It's hard not to to root for them.
Yeah,
now.
It really is.
And
look, I'm a Jets fan. I'm preconceived to hate the Patriots and the Steelers. The Steelers have robbed me of many, many things in my life. But for Ryan Shazier, I hope that I really do hope that the Steelers do go far. I'm picking them to, even before Shazier's injury, I was picking them to go to the Super Bowl. I think they're going to do it. I think they have the offense to beat the Patriots defense. I think that they've got the team that can match Tom Brady.
Right. For the last few weeks, how long it was, I said it's Patriots or Steelers. Pick one.
Yeah.
I don't know right now. Who knows?
I mean, my upset pick out of that league is Jacksonville or Kansas City. I think both of them can make a dent. But I mean, you can't bet against gun to head. You're going to ask me pick one team. I'm going to pick the Steelers
just because of experience. Even though I don't see it happening as Baltimore, I think Baltimore. I trust them the most. I guess
fair enough.
But yeah, it's Pittsburgh or New England in the Super Bowl. You're right. I think maybe this is the year, the end of the Patriots era. Who knows? Who knows?
Let's hope.
Let's hope we need somebody else in the Super Bowl. And listen,
I'm a Jets fan.
We want to see the Steelers because look at that team. They have so much firepower. It'll be a fun.
AB is playing out of his mind.
But what's going to be the best the highest rated Super Bowl right now?
Well,
Pittsburgh versus who in the NFC?
It's got to be the Vikings. They're playing in their own home stadium.
Yeah, but right. That's no fine. Besides the highest rated, I'm talking about best competitive game. I don't want to see Case Keenum. Let's just say for quarterbacks, not Case Keenum. Is it
because my second pick was going to be the Rams because I think I would love to see the Rams.
Listen,
in all honesty, this is the worst case scenario for the NFL. The Super Bowl I want to see is the Rams versus Jacksonville. That's the Super Bowl I want to see.
Yeah.
Two teams that had no shot at all making it to the Super Bowl. I would love to see it.
Yeah.
Quarterback-wise, though, it's Roethlisberger or Brady versus either Cam or Breeze.
Right. Or, listen, even in Seattle, even Russell Wilson.
I think Seattle's dead in the water now. I really do. I don't think they're making the playoffs.
Best matchup, right? Pittsburgh, New Orleans would be great. Carolina even in there.
Yeah.
But I think
not Atlanta.
What would be you think the highest rated Super Bowl would be? Obviously, because they're in it, Minnesota. But I'm talking about just quarterback. I'm talking about just firepower.
If we're gonna go with that, I would have said the Eagles last week.
I think Pittsburgh, but New Orleans, I don't know.
I think it's New Orleans versus the Steelers or New Orleans versus the Patriots. I think that everybody remembers Drew Brees after the whole thing that happened in New Orleans a few years ago when he won the Super Bowl. Everybody knows he has more experience than everybody else out of all those other quarterbacks there. And again, we're also not discounting the fact that Aaron Rodgers comes back this week. He's in the conversation as well.
Right. No, absolutely. And listen, maybe Dallas can get in there.
Well, we're talking about quarterback play.
Dallas,
Let's
Pittsburgh
be fair.
Also, how good would that be? Okay.
We're talking about quarterback play, Avi. Let's be fair.
Oh, okay. Well, listen.
If you're discounting,
Zeke.
if you're discounting
Zeke versus Le'Veon.
If you're discounting my Jared Goff pick, I'm discounting your Dak Prescott pick.
I'm going Zeke versus Le'Veon. How about that Super Bowl?
That actually isn't
Woo!
bad.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're out of here. We're over time. Thank you guys all so much for joining us, and thank you guys for calling in. Next week, I'm gonna make sure the phones are fixed. If not, I'm gonna be talking here for an hour and not knowing what I'm gonna do in my life. So I'm Albert Albanese.
I am Avi Sheffman,
and we will see you guys next week.
Thanks for listening to the Opening Whistle Radio Show on MetsonRadio.com. For more information, go to Facebook.com/The Slam Sessions Podcast Network. We'll see you next week.